Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of DMS 3000 News. It's episode 120 on this Valentine's Day and, of course, Ash Wednesday, February 14th, 2024. And hopefully you are having a fantastic Valentine's. Whether you're single or not, it doesn't matter. We love everybody on this day, not just who we are close to. Our goal is to love everybody and to give love to those who truly need it and ask of it. And today, of course, I am your host, Jason Icanio, the host of this show. And what we are having on today's palette is a lot of articles pertaining to Valentine's Day. In fact, everything you need for a romantic at-home Valentine's Day. If you're on a budget, this is truly for you. And why is the rose a popular flower for Valentine's Day? We're going to answer that age-old question. Maybe you know the answer, but maybe you don't. But the way you're going to find out what the very interesting popular flower of the rose is and why it's appropriate for today. And then, why is Cupid the symbol of Valentine's Day? Well, Cupid, of course, is that little angel with the harp who shoots the bow and arrows and strikes love in everybody's hearts. So why is Cupid the symbol? I would think because of the fact that Cupid just wants to have love in the air, not just on Valentine's Day, but on every day as well. Why not, right? There you go. Headline sports and other important information for you as well. What day is today? We also have this day in history, Black History Month edition for February 14th, as we continue looking at the current events of the month. And, of course, our motivation of the day with Ralph Marston at the end of the program. We also have tonight at 6 o'clock, Chillin' 3000 Hangouts with David St. Dennis. He's got a very special guest, so tune into that right after this program that concludes, hopefully today at 5:30. And tonight, me and the Tear Masters will be on again for another edition of Wipe Those Tears at 9 o'clock. Episode 21 is coming at you with hopefully a wrap-up of the G's and into the games of H. We hope that we'll get into there as soon as possible. That would be fantastic. All right. We hope that you will enjoy this great show today. A happy Valentine's Day to all of you. So let's, of course, start with our NPR news and world headlines from NPR's website. And, of course, we start off with the headlines for today, February 14, 2024. Tai Chi reduces blood pressure better than aerobic exercise, a study finds. The slow-moving Chinese martial arts, Tai Chi, is known to increase flexibility and balance. Now, research suggests it's more effective at reducing blood pressure than more vigorous forms of exercise. That's been around a long time, and it's very beneficial for those who can't do very strenuous moves or are restricted to a chair only or have to sit down. So this might be your best exercise. Multiple people hurt in shooting at Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl rally. Yes, police say shots were fired near Union Station, the site of the Chiefs Super Bowl victory rally in Kansas City, Missouri. 2 armed people were taken into custody, according to the authorities. It's a leap year. How will you be spending your extra day? Will you be celebrating a birthday on February 29th or have other fun plans in the works? NPR wants to know how you'll be spending your leap day. Ukrainian soldiers' Valentines arrive by train of love. Ukrainian soldiers on a break from the front lines meet up with their wives and girlfriends who arrive on the so-called train of love, where every day is Valentine's Day. So I think that's a great thing, too. So you think you know all about the plague. Well, a case in Oregon is a rarity in the United States. It is not expected to spread, but this ancient and deadly disease remains a threat around the world. In Greece, same-sex couples await a landmark parliamentary vote on marriage equality. Greece's parliament is set to vote Thursday on same-sex marriage legislation that includes new parental rights for LGBTQ couples. The Greek Orthodox Church opposes same-sex marriage. Gun violence killed them. Now their voices will lobby Congress to do more using AI. On the 6th anniversary of the mass shooting in Parkland, Florida, gun control advocates experiment with AI-generated audio messages of recreated voices of victims of gun violence pleading for change. House votes to impeach Mayorkas. Democrats flip George Santos' seat. The House voted along party lines to impeach Homeland Security Chief Alejandro Mayorkas, and a Democrat won the New York special election to replace GOP Representative George Santos. The CDC may be reconsidering its COVID isolation guidance. The current guidance advises 5 days of isolation. Unnamed health officials have indicated that this guidance may soon go away, a move that troubles public health experts. Romantic advice regardless of your relationship status. Valentine's Day is a time to think about love, no matter whether you're single, taken, confused, or ready to mingle. Yes, indeed. Ukraine's military says it sank a Russian landing ship in the Black Sea. Ukraine's military says it destroyed Russia's Caesar Kunikov ship off the coast of occupied Crimea, although Russia has so far not confirmed the incident. And I think they probably won't, because they realize they know they're up against it if they do any more why don't they just admit that they are losing this war and Putin really needs to just back off and go find somebody else to blow up. Terrible. Recent gaffes by Biden and Trump may be signs of normal aging, or maybe nothing. President Biden and former President oh my God, President Biden and former President Trump have both experienced public memory lapses, but brain experts say such slips on their own are not a cause for concern. And I just had one too. There you go. I'm not even up there in age. 5 takeaways from Democrats flipping George Santos' House seat in New York. Tuesday's special election was a sort of test for Republicans and Democrats' campaign messaging in 2024, particularly around immigration and abortion. The Catholic Church works to explain what same-sex blessings are and are not. And now that Pope Francis has okayed priests blessing same-sex couples, LGBTQ plus Catholics are figuring out how to ask for these blessings and whether they want them. The way a dying baby girl was cared for in 1980 helped shape her approach to nursing. More than 40 years ago, when Joanne Foley was a neonatal nurse, a baby was born with a severe congenital disorder. Foley recalls the way her supervisor made the baby feel loved. A small fish is at the center of a big fight in the Chesapeake Bay. Recreational fishermen and conservation groups worry over fishing from Menhaden Menhaden threatens the Chesapeake Bay. Industry says current data doesn't support shutting down the more than century-old fishery. We asked young black voters about Biden and the Democrats, and here's what we learned. Young black voters were a key part of the coalition that sent Joe Biden to the White House in 2020. Yet recent polls suggest some of that support has eroded. And I think even more of it has as well, considering now they're finally waking up and smelling the coffee. And that's what I've been trying to tell you guys all this time. Look at what is really happening financially to your particular financial status, and then ask yourself the question, are you better off 4 years? Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? Big question. Officer involved in Freddie Gray's death will oversee Baltimore Police Integrity Unit. Captain Alicia White's move to the Public Integrity Bureau went into effect on February 11th, official says. She is one of 6 officers involved in Freddie Gray's death, none of whom were convicted. Dating habits are changing again, and here are 3 trends and tips for navigating them. Technology, burnout, and generational differences are creating new habits in the dating scene. 2 dating coaches share advice on how to navigate them. Brumation and torpor. How animals survive cold snaps by playing deadish. Yes, social media was recently taken aback watching as alligators in freezing weather appeared to go into a deep sleep to stay alive. Well, they're not alone. Iguanas and hummingbirds do it too. The Oakland A's hire the first female primary play-by-play announcer in Major League Baseball history. Jenny Kavnar will call most of the games during the 2024 season. She was the backup play-by-play announcer for the Colorado Rockies for 12 years and has 5 Emmys. And finally, a dance about gun violence is touring nationally with Alvin Ailey's company. Choreographer Jamar Roberts created a piece about gun violence and police brutality when he found himself sleepless over the issue. It's touring now with the Alvin Ailey American Dance Theater. Wow. There you have it, friends. The headlines for today, February 14th, 2024. All right, it's time to go to the NBA. And, you know, the Nets, they were down, trailing the whole game yesterday. They made a comeback, but not enough because too much Celtics, too much 72 points in the first half, too much Jason Tatum. Celtics win 118 to 110, beat them, and they only lose by 8. So really the fourth quarter really kind of told the picture as the Celtics were kind of slowing down a little bit, letting the Nets catch back in. But if you look at this game in the first and second quarters, giving up 72 points in the first half is a major no-no. Guys, you cannot give that many points up to a Celtics team that's red hot this year. I don't care what Jacques Vaughn says. You guys cannot give up that much in the half. That is inexcusable, okay? You know what you got to do, then go out there and do it, for crying out loud, because we're sick and tired of you sitting there 10 games under 500 saying all of this stuff. I'll hold it for the important information. All right. Yeah, I will. Thunder over the Magic 127 to 113. It was the Heat 123, Bucks 97. Can't believe the Bucks lost. Suns over the Kings 130 to 125. It was the Timberwolves 121, Trailblazers 109, and the Lakers beat the lowly Pistons again 125 to 111. Tonight's games have the Hawks at the Hornets at 7, Heat at the 76ers at 7 o'clock. Knicks will take on the Magic in Orlando at 7, and the Nets go on a home and away, and they face the Celtics tonight in Boston. Last night they were in Barclays. They're going to lose again because somehow or some way it's the Boston Celtics, folks. Tatum will have another great hot night, and I can't even watch the games anymore. That's so disgusting what I got to listen to and watch, because it just goes to show you that when you're down there in the dumps, you know what I mean. Bulls at the Cavaliers at 7:30. Pacers will take on the Raptors at 7:30. Wizards at the Pelicans at 8. Rockets at the Grizzlies at 8 o'clock. Spurs at the Mavericks at 8:30. Pistons at the Suns at 9. Lakers at the Jazz at 9 o'clock. Kings at the Nuggets at 9. And at 10 o'clock, the Clippers will take on the Golden State Warriors at the late game at 10 o'clock. All right, let's go to the NHL. See what's going on there. Oh, by the way, the NBA All-Star Game is this Sunday coming up, February 18th. Okay, let's take a look and see what we have here. Yesterday, the Canadians shut out the Ducks 5-0. It was the Senators over the Blue Jackets 6-3. Lightning beat the Bruins in overtime. It was a shootout, actually. They win 3-2. Maple Leafs over the Blues 4-1. Sabres shut out the Kings 7-0. Avalanche 6, Capitals 3. It was the Kraken over the Islanders in a shootout 2-1. Stars over the Hurricanes 4-2. Devils beat the Predators for another great win. Go Devils 4-2. Canucks over the Blackhawks 4-2, and the Oilers beat the Red Wings 8-4. Today's games have the Sharks at the Jets at 7:30. Face off between the Panthers and Penguins in Pittsburgh at 7:30, and the Wild will take on the Coyotes at 9:30. Now, for that important information, I wanted to kind of pass on to you, so you know what's going down here. Yeah, let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets for just a few minutes here, because I have some advice for Jacques Vaughn. You know, Mr. Vaughn, you've been a very good coach for us over the course of the last couple of years and in going into this year. However, your press conferences tell me one thing. You've got great intentions to put out players out there, but not consistently. Okay? Ben Simmons needs more playing time than just every other game. Okay? I don't agree with you playing him yesterday and not going to have him play tonight. He needs to start playing games. The man has come back from major injuries. He's 100% healthy. Start playing him, because I'll tell you right now, you are leading him to the press, making these accusations that the man is no good for maybe only about 50, not even 50 games, 10 games out of the whole season. So, you know, what I can't stand about coaches in basketball is why are you not playing your regular lineup consistently? Okay, it doesn't make any sense. You know, Ben Simmons is great. He's a good player. He needs to get back into the groove of things. And I just don't see them winning this game again tonight, folks. I just don't have confidence in the Brooklyn Nets right now. And I've been a Nets fan since 1990. I've been following them for 34 straight years. 34 years, and I've seen a lot of ups and downs, lefts and rights, you name it, good years, and, of course, the bad times. And there's just a lot of complaints out of us, of Nets fans. I can tell you that right now. And when we do get hot, there's always that possibility of being thrown against the wall by some low-life team that comes in and just totally destroys us. And then if we get to the playoffs, it's a whole nother step. To win an NBA championship in these times, you really have to have all the factors and the basketball gods with you, folks. That means your team has to be 100% healthy, consistent, playing with each other, a good coach that knows how to play his players and know when to take players out, and a staff that can look and see and go after good players that deserve to be playing in Brooklyn and shouldn't be playing anywhere else if they're having a hot streak. You know, when we got rid of Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant and James Harden, and they went all to their other teams, look at how great they're playing. All the whining and complaining, we can't play, we can't get along, da-da-da-da-da. I swear to God, you guys are a joke. And I'll tell you why you're a joke. Because you guys wanted to get out of Brooklyn, and the only way you could have done it was to whine and complain. We're not getting our way. The coaches don't listen to us. The support of the fans, da-da-da-da-da. No, you guys make it into a drama. You're all drama players. And I'm sick and tired of seeing the colleges that recruit NBA players and seniors, and the rookies that come in. They're great when they start off, but once they make that millions and billions of money of dollars and think that I'm high and above everybody else, their whole career becomes nothing but a big soap opera. Guys, just play the game and stop complaining. But why not? As I said, what happens? Kyrie Irving goes to Phoenix. Or he goes to Dallas. Durant goes to Phoenix. Harden goes to the 76ers. Now he's gone with another team. But the bottom line is that now these guys are having stellar seasons. Stellar seasons. They're not going to change the way they play the game of basketball, folks. We know they're good players. The problem is when they come into Brooklyn, what is it about Brooklyn? What is it about the Nets that every player that comes into this organization has to dramatize their entire season? What is it about it, folks? There has to be some kind of a dramatization going on here, because the Knicks don't play like this. No one gets on the butts of the Knicks, and I'm wondering if the Knicks are having a stellar season this year for a change. It's going back to the way it was back in the 90s when the Knicks were the dominant team in the New York area. In fact, they were the only New York team in the area because the Nets were in New Jersey. Crosstown rivals. Now you've got Brooklyn playing close to Manhattan, with the Knicks and the Nets. So really it ain't crosstown. Right? It's more like cross-borough neighborhoods. Okay? And the Knicks right now are having a fantastic season. More credit to them. They're winning games, playing as a team. Coaches love everything about it. The staff and the organization, everything is going the Knicks' way, even though they don't have the record to show for it. They're still up there in playoff contention, probably about 5th or 6th in the seed-wise. But they are a major playoff contender this year, which is something that they have come a long way from, considering how much hype the Nets had gotten when Irving and the gang were all playing and just scoring 158 to 160 points. Now the Nets can't even score 110 without still losing the game. The only way the Nets are ever going to win games is if they score those 138 to 150 points a night, and they don't have the gumptions or the players to do that. Unless these guys play consistently, they're not going to do it. So there you have it. All right, well, that takes care of the other important information I had. I got my stuff off the chest. And see, it wasn't even political. It was more like a sports kind of a thing. I don't really talk about much because we're getting ready for baseball season in the next month or so. And I can tell you that the dugout crew and myself, we're ready for it. We're going to have a great season too. And hopefully my Mets will do something, but that's that's far-fetched away from it. So I'm not worried about it right now. Once we get to that regular season, we'll go ahead and look at it. All right, when we come back, we'll look at what day is today. And, of course, the first article, everything you need for a romantic at-home Valentine's Day. We'll be back with more DMS 3000 News right after this.
There's something about a train. There's something about a train that's magic.
Amtrak's new $7 return fare means you can see more of America for less. Buy a one-way ticket for over $50, and we'll give you a round-trip ticket for just $7 more.
All aboard America. All aboard Amtrak. All aboard.
You know, finding a good deal on a meal isn't easy. Here's a tip. Just stop by Dairy Queen and ask for the original full meal deal. You get a delicious DQ home-style burger, crisp golden fries, your favorite soft drink, and a sundae. It's the best deal in town, all for under $2. The full meal deal only at Dairy Queen, an American original. We're changing lives.
Crab puffs. Thank you.
Dave Thomas, founder of Wendy's, is always on the lookout for new food ideas.
Try one?
What do you call these things? What I could go for is a Big Dave's Deluxe.
A Big Dave's Deluxe is a quarter pound of fresh beef, cheese, 3 strips of bacon, sauteed onions, but works. And it's only at Wendy's.
Sure beats a crab puff.
Come in today and try another Big Dave's Deluxe.
Remember me? I'm the kid that had a report due on space. Then I got the new Encyclopedia Britannica.
He had a report due on space, and then he got the new encyclopedia.
I think I made that abundantly clear.
Yes.
Anyhow, here it is. I mean, hey, everybody knows this is the greatest encyclopedia in the world. Help me get a B+.
Why not an A?
Too long. I found so much great information, I put it all in. Overkill. The next report I did was for my science class on the human body. Look at all this great stuff. But this time I wised up and made it just the length my teacher asked for. Got a B-.
What?
Just kidding. Scored an A.
Good. To find out how you...
Look at this. I always wondered where my mandibula was.
To find out how you can own the new
We're
encyclopedia...
studying the environment right now. Look at all this great stuff on ecosystems. Also, all you need to know about global warming, the greenhouse effect, the hole in the ozone, you know, all that cheerful stuff.
Yes.
Say you want to check up on the Amazon rainforest and what's going on down there. We got to save this place.
For details on how you can own the new Encyclopedia Britannica...
Let's have that 800 number. Excellent.
Just call this number and we'll send you this free booklet.
Tell them about the gift.
And just for previewing Britannica in your home, we'll give you this 3-volume desk reference set.
This is like having your own research library at home.
Yes. So if you would be interested in owning the new Encyclopedia Britannica...
Don't press. They see the phone number. If they want to, they'll call.
I guess you're right.
Trust me.
No little cinnamon gum freshens breath longer than Big Red.
So kiss a little longer, stay close a little longer, hold tight a little longer, longer with Big Red. That Big Red freshness lasts right through it. Your fresh breath goes on and on. While you chew it, say goodbye a little longer, make it last a little longer. Give your breath long-lasting freshness with Big Red.
Introducing the great new taste of Coca-Cola. The best tasting Coke in the history of ever.
It's a hit, it's a Coke, Coke is it.
It's Coca-Cola with a new taste, a new sensation, a new explosion of wonderfulness in your mouth. Go ahead, try it.
It's just how you feel when you know it's for real.
We've got the taste.
It's a kick, it's a hit, it's a Coke. Coke is it.
Well, speaking of Valentine's Day, I think this holiday of what holiday is today kind of really speaks the holiday theme, as they say, because even though Valentine's Day is not a federal holiday where banks are closed or schools are closed, it's still one of the holidays we celebrate today. But this one holiday, I think, really ties in with Valentine's Day as it is. And it is, for that matter, whoops, I was going to find it. There it is. It's National Cream-Filled Chocolate Day. Yes. So this one ties into all you candy lovers out there. But what about you people who are trying to give up candy for Lent? We'll talk about that in a little bit later on in the program. Sweet tooths all around the world come together to celebrate delicious cream-filled chocolates on National Cream-Filled Chocolate Day, which is, of course, falls on February 14th every year. It is only natural that one of the best types of chocolates is celebrated on the day for which more chocolates are bought around the world than any other day in the week of Valentine's Day. For over 50 million pounds of chocolate are purchased all around the world. From marshmallow cream and coffee cream to butterscotch, chocolate, and vanilla, cream-filled chocolates have delicious centers that make the chocolates taste even more decadent. And it's no wonder that these creamy treats get their own special day. Before cream-filled chocolates became known as truffles, they were called pralines. The Belgian chocolatier Jean Neuhaus Jr. invented the first hard chocolate shell in 1912, which allowed chocolates to be filled with soft fillings. Neuhaus Jr. was the grandson of a Swiss immigrant, Jean Neuhaus. Neuhaus originally ran an apothecary shop where he covered medicines in chocolate to make them more appealing to customers. It was Neuhaus Jr. who created the very first chocolate-filled bonbons, which he called pralines. However, some of the chocolatiers referred to them as truffles because the early varieties were filled with ganache, a glaze made from chocolate and cream. Then in the U.S., any cream-filled chocolate is referred to today as a truffle. In 2017, Bloomberg Pursuits praised the Neuhaus company for creating the best chocolate truffle in the world. Chocolates have been a part of life since as early as 1900 BC. However, back then it was mainly prepared as a drink. Ancient Mayans enjoyed a drink of chocolate with most meals. Their version of chocolate was thick and frothy and was sometimes combined with chili peppers and honey. The mighty Aztec ruler Montezuma II was said to love chocolate so much that he drank gallons of it every day as an energy booster and aphrodisiac. Well, chocolate is made from the fruit of the cacao trees called pods. A single pod contains around 40 cacao beans, which can then be dried and roasted to create cocoa beans. These cocoa beans are refined in chocolate factories through winnowing and roasting. The resulting chocolate liqueur is blended with sugar and milk and molded into the desired shapes. No one really knows who started National Cream-Filled Chocolates Day, but it was undoubtedly a chocoholic with a very good taste. So, 1828, the chocolate press is invented. The invention of the chocolate press creates a pivotal shift in chocolate making and leads to the creation of the first forms of solid chocolate. And then go to 1847, the first chocolate bars are created. An English chocolatier named Joseph Fry discovers a way to make chocolates moldable, and he also invents the very first chocolate bars. 1857, John Neuhaus opens his first store. Neuhaus, the founder of the company that created the first cream-filled chocolates, opens his first store in central Brussels. And the first chocolate shells are then invented in 1912. John Neuhaus Jr., he makes the first chocolate shells, which leads to the creation of the cream-filled chocolates that we have come to love today. Boy, they are just using the word created and creation today. Oh, my God, too much of that stuff. All right, so what are you going to do on this Cream-Filled Chocolate Day for activities? Well, on National Cream-Filled Chocolate Day, you can spoil yourself with a box or two of your favorite cream-filled chocolates. No one will judge you for digging in and gorging yourself on all the sweetness that you can fit into your mouth. And can you imagine how much fun it would be to have a cream-filled chocolate-themed party? You can invite all your friends over and sample some delicious chocolates. From chocolate fountains to chocolate pong, You can test your creativity with the amount of chocolate-themed fun you can have at your party. And making cream-filled chocolates is not as hard as it sounds. With hundreds of recipes online, you can don your chef's hat and whip up a batch of your own tasty chocolates. All you need is a chocolate mold and some ingredients. Here are 5 fascinating facts about chocolate you didn't know. According to an Aztec legend, a deity named Quetzalcoatl was cast away by the other gods because he shared chocolate with humans. In the 1800s, physicians advised lovesick patients to eat chocolates to help calm their pinning and longing, especially in cases of unrequited love. And even though a large portion of the world's chocolate is made with cocoa imported from the Ivory Coast, it is expensive and inaccessible to most Ivorians. And during the Revolutionary War, some soldiers were given chocolate as payment for their services instead of money. And over 2/3 of the world's cocoa supply come from West Africa, with the Ivory Coast being the largest single producer. And why we love this day? Well, it's delicious. I mean, National Cream-Filled Chocolates Day is the kind of holiday you can almost taste. We're practically salivating at the mere mention of these delicious treats. And even the strictest dietitians will tell you the importance of cheat days. Everyone deserves at least one day where they can get to treat themselves to sinful chocolates that leave you sighing in pleasure. And chocolate has a rich history and taste. The delicious treat has come to be associated with love and romance, and for good reasons. Chocolates are the way to our hearts, and cream-filled chocolates are the best of all. There you have it, friends. The next time we will see National Cream-Filled Chocolate Day will be Friday, February 14th, 2025. It'll be on a Friday. So catch that next year as we come back and look at more of National Cream-Filled Day here, not only on DMS 3000 News, but you could also check it out as well. Okay, that's going to do it for us on this edition of What Holiday Is Today? And we're going to take a break and come back and look at our first article of the day, which is everything you need for a romantic at-home Valentine's Day. We'll be back with more DMS 3000 News right after this.
I like to keep myself sparkling clean and fresh. Now, if you want all-day freshness, there's this new concentrated cleaner called Blue. Just pop Blue in the tank, then every time I flush, I get a Blue detergent rinse that helps clean and deodorize me for up to a month. The tablet dissolves, so there's no dripping mess to remove, and my fingers don't get stained. I tell you, Blue makes me feel brand new. Try concentrated Blue. It's the simplest bowl cleaner yet.
This buzz for all that you do. Hey!
In the minors, you must have called it all 1,000 times, but you never lost sight of the dream.
He got a telegram for you, Tony.
Okay, thanks, Pop. Hi, babe. Hey, guess what? I got the call. Yeah. Congratulations.
You got a shot, you'll take it.
What's this, rookie umpire?
You got the heart to make it. You got the fire, that big league desire. You keep on reaching higher. You make America work and this buzz for you.
Here's to you. Beechwood Age for that clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beer.
Hi. Compliments from the gentleman over there.
This buzz for you.
If you're like me, you've always loved Carefree sugarless gum. It's got great taste, plus now tests prove that chewing Carefree after snacking actually helps fight cavities. What could be better than that? How about even better taste? That's right. Carefree's just been improved with more great flavor than ever. You're going to love it. More flavor in every flavor. Wintergreen, spearmint, peppermint, cinnamon, fruit, strawberry, and bubble gum. Try new Carefree sugarless gum for more flavor than ever before and let yourself feel even more carefree.
I was just horrified when my daughter had cavities at her last dental visit. I said, "Doctor, what can we do?" He said, "I'll give her a fluoride treatment here, but she's got to brush twice a day the right way at home."
Because you can't have a dentist fluoride treatment every day, between visits, Crest Fluorostat treats your teeth with fluoride to continue the fight against cavities. It's a fluoride treatment for your teeth at home.
So Sally brushed with Crest, and her next visit was great. I've got to act like a mom and think like a dentist.
Crest, a fluoride treatment for your teeth at home.
When you get up and go, has got up and gone. Turn yourself back on.
Take 5.
Take 5, 5 alive. Take 5 alive.
Snow Crop 5 Alive. 5 delicious fruits. Tangerine, grapefruit, lemon, lime, and orange make one refreshing taste.
Take 5 alive. Take 5.
5 Alive, the 5-fruit refresher.
Could switching to Geico really save you 15% or more on car insurance? Can football announcer Andres Cantor make any sport exciting?
Ha sido una partida intensa hoy. Jadrowski está pensando. Veamos qué va a hacer. Moverá la reina, moverá el caballo. ¡Qué tensión! ¡Viene! ¡Gol!
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Yes. Welcome back to DMS 3000 News. Episode 120 is upon us here on this February 14, 2024. Again, happy Valentine's Day to you, as well as a happy Ash Wednesday. We'll talk a little bit more about Ash Wednesday toward the end of the program. We have some commentaries, of course, with Ralph Marston, and we have a commentary that I think you might be very interested in for Ash Wednesday. But right now, let's go ahead and look at our first article of the day, which is, of course, everything you need for a romantic at-home Valentine's Day. Caitlin Fitzpatrick is going to tell us about there's nothing wrong with having a laid-back February 14th, and these at-home Valentine's Day ideas make the day just as special. So, yes, let's get deep. You know, some people use Valentine's Day as a holiday to dress up, go out to a fancy dinner, and be surprised with red roses and champagne. Others prefer a casual night in that involves sweatpants, a movie, and their favorite person. You can't go wrong with either one, but if you prefer the cozy second option, you'll need to prepare with these at-home Valentine's Day ideas. And did we mention that all the products we rounded up are available on Amazon? That means your Prime membership is going to come in use, because if you tend to procrastinate, chances are that these items will come fast. And once you have the stage set for a fun night in with your husband, wife, girlfriend, or boyfriend, or you and your best friend for Galentine's Day, you'll also need a sweet gift for that special someone. That's where the best Valentine's Day gifts for him, her, kids, and friends come in handy. February 14th, we're ready for you. Yes. How do you make at-home Valentine's Day ideas feel special? With a dinner that includes a fondue set. Ooh. Look at that pretty fondue set. Yes, whether you want to melt cheese to dip bread, vegetables, and meatballs, or save it for dessert with melted chocolate and fruit, graham crackers, and angel food cake, it's sure to be a memorable treat. Let's face it, one way or another, you and your significant other are going to end up snuggling on the couch with a movie on the TV. An oversized fleece blanket is a must-have so that neither of you are hogging the warmth. Cozy, isn't it? And a hanging heart garland. Heart garland offers an easy way to bring hearts into the day of love. Each piece contains 20 red hearts with a total of 80, so you can surprise your person with a little cheer when they get home from work. Look at how beautiful that is. Ooh. And then, how about a cocktail shaker set? Oh, yeah, just because Valentine's Day lands on a work day this year doesn't mean that you can't indulge in a little adult sipping. With this cocktail shaker set, you can channel your inner mixologist to create a pink or red boozy sip just for the occasion. Looks like a real professional grade set. It's not one of those like cheap ones with the cheap stuff in it. They're going all out for it. How about the book called Let's Go Deep, the questions for couples? Yes, calling all couples. Let's see how much you can really find out about each other with the Let's Get Deep Questions game from the creators of What Do You Meme? The couples game warms you up with an icebreaker, then gets a little more deep with deeper and deeper questions. Heads up, this might get steamy. Ooh. And Godiva chocolates. Yes. Whether you're single or in a relationship, Valentine's Day was basically created to eat a box of chocolates in one sitting. With flavors like raspberry ganache swirl and milk caramel embrace, this Godiva chocolate box makes for a fun dessert where you'll taste each kind. And not sure if this pick is right for you? Check out more of the best Valentine's Day chocolates. Massage oil. Yes, aromatherapy massage oil. If things start heating up, hey, it is Valentine's Day after all, so make sure you have massage oil on your deck. As if the non-greasy hydrating formula wasn't good enough, the calming lavender scent is the cherry on top of the sensual activity. And how about a video projector? Yeah, a movie on the TV is fine, but a movie on a video projector takes your Valentine's Day evening up a notch. It connects you to your smartphone, tablet, or iPad, so make sure you have Netflix queued up and prepare for the ultimate viewing experience on a blank space, indoors or out. Possibilities, heart-shaped pasta. Look at that. Looks like rotini with like the little shapes of hearts there. Don't underestimate the fun of cooking with one another. To be on theme, grab the Possibilities heart-shaped pasta and your favorite jarred sauce for a quick, cute bite that'll pair perfectly with a nice bottle of wine. And Hunt a Killer Murder Mystery. Ooh, Death at the Dive Bar. Yes, you and your partner in crime are about to solve a crime with Hunt a Killer, the murder mystery game. Channel your inner Law and Order detective by working together to use the clues to solve the death at a dive bar. Who says that a 45 to 90-minute game can't be romantic? And, oh boy, look at those roses. Fake rose petals. Yes, if there's one holiday that calls for cheesy elements, it's Valentine's Day, because yet fake rose petals set the scene for the evening. And so sprinkle the red pieces on the bed, down the hallway, or even in the car for a February 14th morning surprise. Or just go for the real thing with the best Valentine's Day flowers. Whatever you choose, make it real. Wilton heart-shaped cake pan. Ooh, a do-it-yourself gift can be extra special and not break the bank. So opt to make a heart-shaped cake pan to bake your own sweet dessert. Now you just have to decide, chocolate or vanilla. And flameless votive candles. Yes, look no further for one of the best at-home Valentine's Day ideas. Valentine's Day is the time to go over the top, and flameless votive candles add the effect you want without the risk. Place them on the dinner table, on the bed, or wherever your heart desires to bring an illuminating look to a romantic night. Caitlin Fitzpatrick, she's a senior shopping editor. She's an expert at hunting down must-have products on Amazon. As a holiday fanatic, Caitlin never misses an opportunity to recover seasonal home products and decorations that you'll want to add to the cart. Outside of work, you can find her being a mom to her baby girl and trying new restaurants with her husband and watching about every show on Bravo. Ooh. She's got a good report, folks. Thank you, Caitlin, for that fantastic article. And there you have it. Once again, more great ideas for Valentine's Day. See if you could add some more different original ideas than what we showed you. Pretty good. Well, it's 4:44, and coming up next, we'll tell you why the rose is a very popular flower for Valentine's Day. And then at 5 o'clock, why is Cupid the symbol of Valentine's Day? All this and more when we come back on DMS 3000 News right after this.
Eat your cereal, it's healthy. Open wide.
That's it. I've had it with these healthy, schmelthy tasting cereals. I want a cereal that tastes so good. You want to eat it. Your mini wheats.
Dad, these are good for you.
I don't want to hear that.
See? No salt, no cholesterol, fat-free.
I can't hear you. Sorry, wrong number.
Kellogg's Frosted Mini Wheats. Surprise! They're good for you.
Got lots of fiber, too.
I didn't hear that. I heard that.
You know, when you got it right, you got it right. Whether you're talking about this, or whether you're talking about the one and only Diet Cola that does it for Ray, Diet Pepsi. You know, nothing tastes as good to me as Diet Pepsi. All right, now who's the wise guy?
Join the Diet Pepsi Taste Drive.
Now, that's the right one, baby.
In trying to make an artistic statement, one should be careful not to let one's personal aroma do the talking. In order not to offend the critics, I recommend Right Guard Sport Stick. It provides maximum protection and the freshest scents, a sublime palette of odoriferous emanations. After all, a true artiste should be remembered for his inspiration, not his perspiration. Right Guard Sport Stick. Anything less would be uncivilized.
We got married, I got comfortable, and I put on 12 pounds. I was not putting on a bathing suit. I tried about a zillion diets. The Slim Fast plan really worked. I had a shake for breakfast, a shake for lunch, and then a sensible dinner. The weight came off. It's hardly a diet. You can have chocolate, and it's good for you.
19 essential vitamins and minerals, protein, calcium, and carbohydrates. All the balanced nutrition like a healthy meal.
I feel good. Maybe I should buy a bikini.
Slim Fast, balanced nutrition for a healthy life.
Thirsty? Totally.
Did it together. You got OJ, purple stuff, soda. Yeah, go for it.
Tastes like orange and tangerine.
And lime.
Some healthy junk too.
Instant replay?
Sunny Delight. The good stuff kids go for.
All right, welcome back to the show. Episode 120 on this Valentine's Day is here, and we hope that you're having a fantastic Valentine's Day with your loved ones and your significant other, as they say, quote unquote. Well, let's look at the next article on our agenda here, as they say. Well, why is the rose a token of love or friendship and a popular flower for Valentine's Day? Well, Elizabeth Yuko is going to give us the answer as why is this rose so popular on the day. Well, when it comes to gifts and tokens of affection, flowers are a classic choice. But of all the flowers given on holidays, none are as closely associated with Valentine's Day as the red rose. Now, even if you're not someone who pays attention to this mid-February holiday, it's hard to miss the sales displays filled with dozens of Valentine's Day roses situated front and center in supermarkets, drugstores, and even gas station mini-marts. There's a reason the rose is iconic and a popular flower for Valentine's Day. Of course, Valentine's Day roses aren't strictly for expressing romantic love. Thanks to different rose-colored meanings, the classic beauties make great Valentine's Day gifts for friends and family members too. But before you hit the nearest florist for a rainbow's array of roses, find out how the tradition of giving roses for Valentine's Day started and which roses are the tops. So how much do people spend on Valentine's Day roses? Well, some Valentine's Day trivia. In 2022 alone, people spent $23.9 billion on Valentine's Day, and the total spending hit $25.9 billion last year, the second highest year on record, according to the National Retail Federation. In 2022, $2.3 billion went to Valentine's Day flowers, averaging out to nearly $17 per person. Because the rose is a popular flower for Valentine's Day, the number typically increases every year, so there's a decent chance the figure will be even higher in 2024. We'll only know once we get to this holiday today. And grumble as they may about the cost of Valentine's Day roses, the price of roses skyrockets around the holiday. Americans are willing to pay the price for the flower that best signifies love. Plants are great for long-lasting tokens of love, and a simple red rose plant is ever popular. Says Sandra Varley, a florist with more than a decade of experience and the sales and marketing manager for Flying Flowers. And while a bouquet of cut roses may not last quite as long as a rose bush, it's still a beautiful way of saying Happy Valentine's Day and I love you for as long as the flower lives, and even longer if you dry them. So there's history behind why the rose is a popular flower for Valentine's Day. The tradition of giving roses for Valentine's Day has several origin stories, and like the Valentine Cupid, it's rooted in Greek mythology. Some stories say that the first red rose was created when the Greek goddess Aphrodite was scratched by a white rose's thorn, causing that rose to turn red, says Sarah Cleto, who's a PhD, a folklorist, and co-founder of the Carter Hogg School of Folklore and the Fantastic. Others say that the first red rose grew on the ground where Adonis, Aphrodite's lover, died, and the goddess's tears fell. As far as the history behind the tradition of Valentine's Day roses, an early figure sometimes connected to the association between roses and romance is Lady Mary Wortley Montagu, wife of a British ambassador to Turkey during the 1700s. Lady Montagu wrote letters home enthusing over a version of Turkish flower language or the process of assigning certain customs and symbolic meanings to certain flowers, but she seems to have misinterpreted this local custom, which had more to do with rhyming words than the significance of the flowers themselves, Cleto says. Still, the concept of flower languages caught on, and especially in the 19th century England, and over the course of century, roses became even more tightly linked to romantic love. Ooh, yes. But a huge reason giving roses for Valentine's Day has persisted as a tradition is simply because roses are beautiful, fabulous smelling flowers that will have that happen. Let's repeat that again. Fabulous smelling flowers that happen to travel really well, says Cleto. They're very good. Flowers are usually shipped over long distances, and roses are both gorgeous and hardy. So that's a huge part of why this practice has continued. And just like candy hearts, red roses are the best gifts for Valentine's Day because the color is associated with passion and romantic love. That may be why couples broke romantic hotels and sprinkle roses on the beds and floors as a gesture of love. Part of this is probably because red dye is used to be particularly expensive, difficult to obtain, and sometimes synonymous with royalty. Cleto explains, all these factors made red feel especially desirable and luxurious. I'm going to take a quick break. I need to. And I'll be back with more of this article right after this.
How long has it been since your mom's fixed Jello pudding for you?
A long time ago.
How long?
A long, long time
But
ago.
she knows it's good for you, right? And she knows that you love it, right? Well, maybe she forgot. Maybe I should remind her. Moms, you know how the kids love Jello pudding, and you know it's made with fresh milk, so it's wholesome. And you haven't made Jello pudding for them since
Last night.
last what? Kids love Jello brand pudding. Remember.
It's yum yum fun that is cool and clean, and its name is the Snoopy Snow
assembly required, and you mix the punch flavor.
It's yummy, Snoopy. It's the yum fun that is cool and keen. And its name is the Snoopy Snow Cone Machine.
Snoopy Snow Cone Machine comes with everything you see here from Hasbro.
Birthday Bunny! Happy birthday, Bunny!
My favorite day.
Here's your present.
My favorite drink. Nestle Quick Chocolate Flavor. Gee, now that I'm a big bunny, I know I can drink it slow.
I don't know, Bunny. Nestle Quick is rich and thick and chocolate.
That's the thing about birthdays and Quick. They both go so fast.
For Valentine's Day, please visit your Carvel dealer and ask to see Cupid the Chocolate Nut or the Twin Heart Cake, your Carvel ice cream store. That's right, the best place in the world to buy your sweetheart something fresh and sweet. Premium quality fresh Carvel ice cream, custom made, custom inscribed, custom decorated to suit your sweetheart. Want to send one to a friend? You can, you know. That number is 800-327-GIFT. We honor most major credit cards. Thank you.
Here, Schroeder, I've written a jingle for MetLife. You've got your whole life and term life and universal life too. Your MetLife rep will tell you which is best for you. Call your MetLife rep and give it a try. You'll be glad you did. So get Met. Oh, that's awful. I hope you realize Beethoven never wrote even one successful jingle. Get Met. It pays.
Thingamabob, gobbledygook, what's its face? Whatchamacallit, whatever it is, whatever it was, chocolatey chocolate. Whatchamacallit, how's it go? Wowzum-doo, chew gooey caramel. Whatchamacallit, doohickeys, you know what I mean, peanutty crispies. Chewy, chocolatey, crunchy, too bad, it's Skidamarie, more than a mouthful. It's whatchamacallit, whatchamacallit.
Okay, welcome back. Let's continue on with our article here that we are looking at before we went to the break. It's all about the Valentine's rose and the significance of it and why it is the most popular one. Well, everyone has their preference as far as the variety, but according to Varley, the samurai rose is at the top when it comes to the perfect Valentine's Day flower. It is the perfect intense rose that oozes luxury, and the large petals are velvety in texture and are complemented well by the surrounding dark green leaves, she says. The shape of the bloom is perfect for a romantic bouquet also, as the oval buds open to a large double bloom flower, which is full and impactful. One further advantage is that this particular rose is thornless, which is perfect for gift giving. And while COVID-19 related quarantine ignited a love of houseplants in Americans across the country, plants haven't supplemented roses as Valentine's Day gifts. Red roses are still far and away the most popular stem on Valentine's Day, says Varley. The younger you are, the more likely you are to buy red roses. Mixed stem bunches and hot pinks are becoming more popular. However, nothing quite says love like a red, red rose. Of course, if you're celebrating a platonic love, say for Valentine's Day, you'll want to go with something that signifies friendship. Skip the red and go straight for yellow roses. You could even use online flower delivery services for seamless shipment to your gal pal. Those looking for inexpensive Valentine's Day gifts may want to make homemade Valentine's Day cards featuring Valentine's Day flower and a love quote, or go with a solo stem. It's a small nod to tradition that you can present before a date at a romantic restaurant. And of course, Elizabeth Yuko, thank you very much for the fantastic article. Let's move on to the next one here. Whoops. Which is, of course, why Cupid is synonymous with Valentine's Day and has become the official mascot of Valentine's Day. So let's look at that right now. Going into the 5 o'clock hour. Pull that one up. And this one, of course, is by Bobby Dempsey as why Cupid is the symbol of Valentine's Day. Valentine Cupid is one of the popular Valentine's Day characters, but how much do you know about this chubby mythical matchmaker? Well, as Valentine's Day approaches, which it has now, There's one figure you'll probably see everywhere you look. You won't be able to miss him while thinking of Valentine's Day ideas, from a romantic dinner at your favorite restaurant to browsing the many Valentine's Day flowers to a gift to your love. That's right. We're talking about that winged warrior of romance, the Valentine Cupid. Armed with his trusty bow and arrows, Cupid is one of the popular Valentine's Day characters. He zips around the clouds, eager to make love connections wherever he goes. But how much do you really know about this liaison of love? If you want to surprise your significant other by dressing as Cupid for Valentine's Day, or if you simply want to learn more about the Valentine Cupid, keep reading below. So, why is Cupid a baby? Well, it looks more like a toddler in that picture. The Valentine Cupid, you can easily call to mind, is an interpretation of Eros, the Greek god of love. He appeared as a handsome youth in early art and poetry, but by the Hellenistic period, which spanned from 323 BC to 31 BC, he morphed into the chubby winged child we know and love today. Representing Eros as a child and subordinate to his mother is a way of containing or limiting the power that love was thought to have over us, says Catherine Connors, who's a PhD, a classics professor at the University of Washington. So what does Eros have to do with Cupid? Well, a lot, actually. The Romans reinterpreted many Greek myths, and Eros is no exception. Once he was adopted by Roman culture, he was renamed Cupid, which stems from the word for desire. And while his name may have changed, the Romans kept Cupid's more recent Greek incarnation of the less threatening, chubby-cheeked child. Modern representations often conflate Eros and Cupid in the version of the Valentine's Day Cupid that screams Happy Valentine's Day today. And according to Roman mythology, Cupid was a god born in Mercury, the messenger of gods, and Venus, the goddess of love. Armed with a bow and arrows, they're on your Valentine's Day bingo card for a reason. He dealt in love and passion, forcing it upon his victims with the prick of an arrow. His Greek counterpart has a murkier background. Some early stories claim Eros was a primeval god believed to be the son of chaos. Later, Greek mythology established him as the son of Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty. And although the identity of his father is unclear, Eros is most commonly said to be the son of Ares, the god of war. Like the Roman god Cupid, Eros concerned himself with love and passion, making mischief and playing with lives by piercing humans and gods alike with his enchanted arrows. That's a hard no. Today, the Valentine Cupid is seen as one of the most popular Valentine's Day characters for Galentine's Day, too. He's an iconic symbol of love and romance, but his journey to becoming the poster boy for Valentine's Day was a long one, with some twists along the way. In the original Greek myths, Eros played with the emotions of both gods and mortals, and not always in the nicest of ways. In one story, he caused the god Apollo to fall in love with the nymph Daphne, and then made sure the love was unrequited. In other stories, love turned dangerous. This dark streak could perhaps be traced back to Eros's mother, and in some variations of the legend, Aphrodite became jealous of the human woman, the Psyche, Eros, who had fallen in love with, and tricked Eros into putting a spell on the woman. Not surprisingly, the story doesn't have a happy ending. Well, add this to your Valentine's Day trivia. Historians see Cupid wings as symbolic, and they're not unique to Cupid. Eros, too, is depicted as a winged cold creature in Greek mythology. It was probably ideas about love being fleeting or capricious that are behind the representation of Eros with wings, which goes back to ancient times, says Connors. Today's Valentine Cupid is a nod to both classical gods and Eros' lover, Psyche. Sometimes Eros is represented with female figure with wings, and this is Psyche, says Connors. The Greek word for soul is also the word for butterfly, so we know that they thought of the soul as a winged being. Images of Eros and Psyche in love are a way of expressing the idea that being in love transforms us as people. It's not shocking to find a few people dressed as Cupid for Valentine's Day. The little cherub has made a bigger mark than you realize, and no, we're not talking about the ubiquitous image on Valentine's Day Cupids. Sure, that little guy has become synonymous with February 14th and printable Valentine's Day cards, but his origin story has also inspired some of the most beloved tales of all time. And yes, he's appeared in romantic movies, as has Eros, but believe it or not, Cupid was once the star, or at least the co-star, of longer, more serious written works. The most extended literary representation of Cupid is in a novel written in Latin about 660 CE by Apuleius, who was first from North Africa, says Connors. His Greek counterpart has had a major impact on literature and one of your favorite Disney movies. Eros's mythological soap opera inspired a literary work that serves as the root of a modern classic. Eros and Psyche were part of the inspiration for the story of Beauty and the Beast, written in 1740 by Gabrielle Suzanne de Villeneuve, says Connors. In my view, this means that the dancing teapot and candlestick you remember in Disney's Beauty and the Beast go all the way back to Cupid's invisible servants in Apuleius's novel. You can't celebrate Valentine's Day without having Cupid as your mascot. For centuries, February 14th has been seen as a celebration of romance, hence the Valentine's chocolates and romantic restaurants. Cupid likely seemed a natural fit to represent the holiday. The poet Chaucer, in a poem, writes about birds associated with Valentine's Day with love and maybe drawing on earlier folk traditions, says Connors. Visually, the long artistic tradition of depicting Eros and Cupid with his mother, the goddess of love, persisted and was available when Valentine's cards began to be commercially printed in the mid-19th century. Despite Cupid's colorful and complicated past, hopeless romantics everywhere relished the notion that of a mischievous yet well-intentioned tyke, one who now uses his power for good instead of evil, floating around and matching up those who are destined to be soulmates. That has, no doubt, contributed to the staying power of the Valentine Cupid. Well, now that Cupid has become a Valentine's Day staple, you will see him everywhere as the romantic holiday approaches. He appears on romantic and funny Valentine's Day cards alike and pops up on decorations and in flower arrangements filled with roses. Cupid may date back thousands of years, but he's as well known today as he was in ancient Rome, and you'd be hard-pressed to get to February 14th without seeing his cherubic face. There you have it, friends. Bobby Dempsey and her fantastic staff writing yet another article on this week, Ash Wednesday today, and of course the first week of the Lenten season, plus Valentine's Day. Bobby Dempsey, she's a freelance writer, editor, and content specialist whose credits include the New York Times, Forbes, Family Circle, Good Housekeeping, and many others. She has written both consumer-facing and B2B content for numerous companies in the technology, healthcare, education, and personal finance industries. Thank you, Bobby, for that fantastic article. And when we come back, we'll look at our final things going on here, like what for the day in Black History. But we'll also look at very quickly how the North Americans celebrate Thanksgiving and what we did on Thanksgiving. Not Thanksgiving, Valentine's Day. Oh, my God. We're thankful for Valentine's Day, but we'll tell you what the Americans do to celebrate Valentine's Day, even back in the days. We'll also give you a little bit of Ash Wednesday commentary and, of course, our motivation of the day when we come back right after this.
There's something about a train. There's something about a train that's magic.
Amtrak's new $7 return fare means you can see more of America for less. Buy a one-way ticket for over $50, and we'll give you a round-trip ticket for just $7 more.
All aboard America. All aboard Amtrak. All
You know, finding a good deal on a meal isn't easy. Here's a tip. Just stop by Dairy Queen and ask for the original full meal deal. You get a delicious DQ homestyle burger, crisp golden fries, your favorite soft drink, and a sundae. It's the best deal in town, all for under $2. The full meal deal only at Dairy Queen, an American original.
We're changing lives.
Crab puffs.
Thank you. Dave Thomas, founder of Wendy's, is always on the lookout for new food ideas.
Try one?
What do you call these things? What I could go for is a Big Dave's Deluxe.
A Big Dave's Deluxe is a quarter pound of fresh beef, cheese, 3 strips of bacon, sauteed onions, the works. And it's only at Wendy's.
Sure beats a crab puff.
Come in today and try another Big Dave's Deluxe.
Remember me? I'm the kid that had a report due on space. Then I got the new Encyclopedia Britannica.
He had a report due on space, and then he got the new encyclopedia.
I think I made that abundantly clear.
Yes.
Anyhow, here it is. I mean, hey, everybody knows this is the greatest encyclopedia in the world. Help me get a B+.
Why not an A?
Too long. I found so much great information I put it all in. Overkill. The next report I did was for my science class on the human body. Look at all this great stuff. But this time I wised up and made it just the length my teacher asked for. Got a B-.
What?
Just kidding. Scored an A.
Good. To find out how you...
Look at this. I always wondered where my mandibula was.
To find out how you can own the new
We're
encyclopedia...
studying the environment right now. Look at all this great stuff on ecosystems. Also, all you need to know about global warming, the greenhouse effect, the hole in the ozone. You know, all that cheerful stuff.
Yes.
Say you want to check up on the Amazon rainforest and what's going on down there. We got to save this place.
For details on how you can own the new Encyclopedia Britannica...
Let's have that 800 number. Excellent.
Just call this number and we'll send you this free booklet.
Tell them about the gift.
And just for previewing Britannica in your home, we'll give you this 3-volume desk reference set.
This is like having your own research library at home.
Yes. So if you would be interested in owning the new Encyclopedia Britannica...
Don't press. They see the phone number. If they want to, they'll call.
I guess you're right.
Trust me.
No little cinnamon gum freshens breath longer than Big Red.
So kiss a little longer, stay close a little longer, hold tight a little longer, longer with Big Red. That Big Red freshness lasts right through it. Your fresh breath goes on and on. While you chew it, say goodbye a little longer, make it last a little longer. Give your breath long-lasting freshness with Big Red.
Introducing the great new taste of Coca-Cola. The best tasting Coke in the history of ever.
It's a hit. It's a Coke. Coke is it.
It's Coca-Cola with a new taste, a new sensation, a new explosion of wonderfulness in your mouth. Go ahead, try it.
It's just how you feel when you know it's for real.
We've got the taste.
It's a kick. It's a hit. It's a Coke. Coke is it.
All right, it's time for your Ash Wednesday commentary today, and I think this is fitting for not only for Valentine's Day, but it kind of fits in for the whole season of Lent. You'll be seeing me wear some Lenten colors throughout the time. We'll also have our Lenten background as well. So keep an eye on all of that as we move into the spring holidays and coming up to Easter as well. So 3 central acts for the devout Jew were prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. The only fast actually laid down in the Mosaic Law was that of the Day of Atonement. But in later Judaism, the practice of regular fasting was common. The Gospel tells us that John the Baptist used to fast, and he was contrasted with Jesus, who ate with sinners, which does not mean that Jesus did not fast. The Pharisees also fasted regularly. For Christians, too, these acts are all proper to the Lenten season, and all three can profitably be incorporated in some way into our lives during these 6 weeks. So let us give some more time specifically to prayer and not just saying prayers each day. We might think of learning something about ways of praying. The practice of Christian meditation is taught by John Main, centering prayer, the Lectio Divina based on reading of scripture, or some form of Ignatian prayer. There are many books available to learn about these methods, which are basically very simple. They can also be found on the internet, and John Main recommends 20 to 30 minutes in meditation twice a day is ideal. That may seem a lot, but many of us, even in a busy day, do not have a problem with spending an hour or more on a TV program. For some, it may be possible to pray in a small group together with shared prayer. There are now, in most places, only 2 official fast days in the whole of Lent. Some people would never think of fasting, although they may be on a diet, which is even more stringent than what the church asks. Fasting can consist of doing without something we do not really need, even if we are over the age of for fasting. Alcohol, nicotine, snacks, and tidbits. Sometimes it is harder to let go of these things than to eat fish, especially if you like fish. And do not let us forget to share something of what we have with those who are in need. Why not take the money that would be spent on that fancy meal you decided to forego and give it to those who do not know where their next meal is coming from? If you have given up movies for Lent or any other indulgence, again, let the money saved be diverted to the really needy. The gospel today emphasizes the importance of doing all these things quietly and without ostentation. No one should even know we are praying more, sharing more, or doing without things. Once we draw attention to ourselves doing these things, they have lost their real purpose, which is to bring us closer to God and his ways. Fantastic commentary, which you can always get a great commentary from livingspace.sacredspace.ie. We used these a lot commentaries when we were doing the spiritual hour back in the days, and their message is very clear and concise. Now, let's go to the next thing on our list here, which is the current events for the 14th of February for Black History Month. And take a look and see what's going on there today. Pull that up. There we go. And remember, all of our current events come from CBS42.com. And today is the 14th of February. These historic events were published back in 2017. Okay, so let's look at them. Over 7 years ago, but the current events still have not changed. Frederick Douglass may have been born on this day, and Morehouse College was definitely founded on it, only under a different name and location. All this and more in today's special edition of This Day in History. On this day in 1818, the great emancipator Frederick Douglass was born, and while this day is considered his birthday, the exact year and date of Douglass's birth are unknown. Late in life, Douglass chose to celebrate it on February 14th, and he became one of the most famous intellectuals of his time. A leader of the abolitionist movement and dazzled thousands of his oratory skills, Douglass was also an accomplished writer, writing on his experiences in slavery and his life after the Civil War. In 1867, the Augusta Institute was organized in Augusta, Georgia. The institution was founded to educate African-American men in theology and education. It was established in the Springfield Baptist Church, the oldest independent black church in the United States. The institute went through a few changes over the years, including its location and its name. And by 1913, the school had relocated to Atlanta, Georgia, and became known as Morehouse College. And finally, in 1936, the National Negro Congress organized at Chicago. The meeting was attended by more than 800 delegates representing more than 500 organizations. Fantastic. Great historic information on this day, February 14th, and marking Black History Month with more great current events. Let's go now to the Daily Motivator, conclude our, and wish all of you a very happy Valentine's Day. Not a happy Thanksgiving Day, but you should also be thankful for it as well. Today's Daily Motivator is for Wednesday, February 14th, is dedication to the truth. Speak up and speak the truth. Be honest and give others the opportunity to be honest with you. Make no apologies for recognizing and acknowledging what is true, what is real. Your dedication to truth not only improves your own life, but is ultimately beneficial to everyone. It can be convenient in the short term to pretend that what's obvious is not really there. But all that does is create more problems down the road. The sooner you get the truth out in the open, the better. And the longer you wait to deal with a painful truth, the more painful it will be. Being truthful is an act of love, of confidence, of trust and understanding and kindness. And even when truth hurts, it helps. Speak and act and live on the side of what is real. As challenging as life certainly can be, it is always best when aligned with the truth. Great story. Great commentary from Ralph Marston on the Daily Motivator. Well, that's going to do it for us today on DMS 3000 News. Episode 120 is now officially ending here. We wish all of you and your loved ones a happy Valentine's Day and a great Ash Wednesday as well, too. Continue on your Lenten path, no matter what comes your way. And if you are strictly fasting for other reasons other than Ash Wednesday, please do it safely. People love you very much. Remember, be honest, be real, and keep it simple, stupid. Yes. Good night, and we will see you tomorrow.
Don't forget to subscribe to the Daily Thousand Network for more great content like this one.